3 points and 3 goals and a win to kick off Ruben Amorim's era at Manchester United at Old Trafford. But I tell you what, it would be nice if United could just get rid of the habit of not making it an arse twitch. Seriously. Good save from Onana at the end. United scoring 3 goals feels like a rarity. United winning a game. Yeah, we'll take that. I would say that game was filled with nerves as well, like we've seen in the Ipswich game. But we dominated that game overall. Let's be completely honest. All right. Now, it was a 3-2, so you might say, well, hold on here. It wasn't complete domination, and they nearly got a draw at the end. But we did. We were in far more control of that game than we were of Ipswich. And I tell you what, if the finishing was there, that game would not have finished 3-2. It would have been 5 or 6. And we've said that a lot about United this season. But Ruben Amorim, we wanted to see a response from the disappointment of going 1-0 up against Ipswich to then not capitalise on it, to then let them get back into the game and then get a draw. And United tried to do the same thing again there. Both goals that we conceded, one was a clearance that came back. Bruno, because he's playing, I'm not sure about Bruno playing deep. I never will be. I'll be completely honest. Wasn't covering his man. Great goal. And then Malacia got left for dead. I'll speak about Malacia later in the show. But ultimately, let's focus on the main thing. Amorim played his system, stuck to his system. Can somebody please just cut the mic from Robbie Savage whenever he speaks again? Seriously, my God, it was doing my nutting. That should have been way more than a 1-goal win margin. And that came down to a lack of clinical finishing. But United created, and De Ligt going off, everybody going off. I thought the subs that he made were calculated and correct. But I want to speak about this man, all right? Rasmus Hojlund is a fantastic natural finisher. It comes as zero surprise to see that he can score goals if you get him the ball. Bombshell moment, I know. And for him to create that goal within the first minute, great pressing, Garnacho there to knock it in. You won't score an easier goal. Fantastic from Hojlund. Set the tone straight away. Now, United didn't build on that for a period. And then, BODO GLIMT came back into it. And BODO GLIMT, they went 2-1 up. But Hojlund made the difference in that second half. That really, and in the first half, who am I kidding? With that goal, the touch, the finish, a proper strike, just such a technical finish from him. And it made the difference. He left on a hat-trick, and he could have had a hat-trick if Garnacho had passed to him. But I'm delighted for Hojlund. It comes as zero surprise to me that if we create opportunities for him, he's going to score more goals. All right? Amorim's system plays towards a focal point of a striker. It's something still that Garnacho is going to have to get into his head, that other players are going to have to get into their heads. It's not all about the individual wingers trying to create, because that's what United did for so long. Get the ball to the striker and he will score. I really enjoyed seeing that. And can I just take a little moment here? I don't know how many times we've been saying this season, but I'll say it again now. Mazraoui is just a ridiculously good footballer. Every single game you come out and go, he's just done it again. You know what I've really thought there tonight? I don't know, I was just focusing on it a little bit more. Every decision he has to make, he makes the right one. That seems to be the key for him. Just the decision-making is so on point. What does he go forward? What does he step back? What does he put his foot in? And he created the goal for Hojlund. It was United had so much possession, but were struggling to break it down. And it was Mazraoui ultimately won the ball back, dinked it, went between two players, crossed it, and Rasmus Hojlund was in the box to score that goal. And the third goal, fantastic from Mason Mount, great pass from Ugarte to Hojlund. And speaking of Mason Mount, I thought he played well. I thought that of all the players returning there from injury, who was it? You had Malacia, I'll speak about him next. You had Mason Mount, who was making his first start. Anthony, who I don't particularly think did anything. Unfortunately for Anthony, when it comes to playing on that right wing-back role, the reason that Amorim likes a left-footed player playing on that right wing-back is because they're going to be cutting inside and creating the passing lanes, and Anthony didn't really do that much, if at all. Mason Mount, I thought he played well. Unlucky not to score as well. That shot crashing off the bar. I think Mason Mount will... look, let's find out. But he certainly suits this system. And look, you've got a feel for Malacia. And My concern for Malacia was that after 18 months out with double surgery on a meniscus tear, I think it was in his left knee, the reason Malacia was a good player for us was because of how explosive and unstoppable an athlete he was. The recovery pace was phenomenal. And just that goal that they scored was, I mean, I'll be honest, it looked like they calculated that not halftime, but they calculated that. Ball over the top. Martinez, Robbie Savage was trying to dig into him in commentary. No, it was fine. There was 3 defenders back. That's the defensive shape. Martinez went forward. Malacia dropped in. It was perfectly normal, but Malacia he didn't have the pace, and I felt really, really sad for him, man. He obviously wasn't ready. He was ready, and it just goes to show you that difference between being fit and ready and being match ready. In those situations where the ball's fired over the top and you've got to sprint and catch up that 4 yards on a player who's got pace, and he couldn't do it. And I really, really felt for him. Now, as I said, that was a 3-goal game. It was 3 points. It was Amorim's first win at Old Trafford. Hojlund scored 2 and got an assist. There's lots and lots of positives to take. But that shouldn't have been a game, in my opinion, where United were sat there at the end, squeaky bum time. And I've got a picture of Garnacho here. You could have a picture of other players too, but mainly Garnacho. And I'm going to be pointing out this one in particular. Like, Garnacho was shooting left, right, and centre, and Garnacho has been shooting left, right, and centre. Garnacho, in his career so far, has come from being a big fish in a small pond in the FA Youth Cup winning team. It was always get the ball to Garnacho and let him work his magic, and he worked his magic. And when he came into the first team, he adopted the same approach. And then it became that he was one of our main men. And then he became the main man, like starting 38 consecutive games in the second season. We had nowhere to turn. Get the ball to Garnacho and hope that he would do something, because nobody else was doing anything. And that's still the mindset that he has. So I'm going to be looking to Ruben Amorim to kind of coach that out of him, because it has to be coached out of him, because it's being coached into him. He's been enabled by the environment to do that. But when you've got a finisher in the box, you get the ball to him. And if not, you get the ball on the edge of the box. And sometimes you'll take a shot, sure. But the natural instinct can't always be to shoot. That game there, look, how many shots we have? 20. Felt like we had more. Tons of possession. Good passing accuracy. And a lot more threat than we had against Ipswich, where we did have a lot of control without really threatening. It should have been way more than 3-2, but ultimately, it's 3 points. It's Amorim's first game at Old Trafford. The system is there. You know it's going to be game on game, slightly getting better. I loved Mazraoui there tonight. Man of the match, of course, goes to Rasmus Hojlund. Let me know what you thought about Ugarte or anybody else in the comments below. Gets started with a win at Old Trafford. I'll take that.